Hey guys, what's going on? So the Yankees have fallen out of the lead for the wild card. Boston won today. Seattle also won today. All these teams picked up ground on the Yankees, but they no longer lead the wild card standings. And I'm not surprised with the performance that they've been putting forward. Fifth loss in a row. Hey everybody, what's going on? Yeah, Lori, I'm with you. I'm not really mad. I'm just disappointed. It's just pitiful play, and they're falling apart. They're falling apart, and it's unfortunate. It's not like they're not trying, but they're just not performing. They're not playing well at all. Recap it. I mean, Alek Manoah started for the Blue Jays, went 5 2/3, 5 hits, 3 home runs, 4 strikeouts. Luis Hill started for the Yankees. It's been a while. 3.1, 3 1/3. He only gave up 1 hit, but he did give up 3 earned runs, and it's because he gave up 7 walks. But he had 6 strikeouts, so he wasn't hit hard. He just didn't have any control. And honestly, it's important for him to see some kind of adversity anyway. Now, I'm going to see how he responds the next time he starts. I'm going to be really curious to see. But one of the problems is 1, 2, 3, 4. The Yankees used 8 pitchers today. 8 pitchers, okay? After that, we had Lucas Licky, Joely Rodriguez, Clay Holmes, Chad Green, Chapman, and Wandy. 8 pitchers they use, and this is the problem, and starters not going length, and you have all these relievers, and then a bunch of them are not going to be available tomorrow, and then this is one of the problems that the Yankees have, and this is why I keep suggesting, if Severino comes back, you put him in the bullpen so he can give multiple innings. We need a couple of guys that can throw multiple innings. Okay, and the Jays are the better team right now. So you're absolutely right, Cam. 100%. Younger, more dynamic team. They're hungrier. And again, Yankees, they just don't have it. They just don't have it, And injury, not performing, a whole bunch of things. But Gardner was the only offense for the Yankees. A 3-run home run that tied a game at 3 in the 5th. And then that was pretty much it. He did make the last out. It was a really good play by Jared Dyson out in center field. So to rob Gardner of a multi, like a double or a triple. But either way, not good. Chapman was ugly today. It was just. This is a sign that the Yankees need to make some moves, and it's got to happen sooner than later. And right now, again, I'd be calling up Greg Allen. I'd be mixing and matching people. You sit people who aren't performing, and you put people in that are performing. Okay, no more 0 for 4s for these guys, 0 for 4s for that guys. It's just not good, man. Not good. So it's really disappointing for the Yankees. It really, really, really is, and it's a bummer to watch. It sucks for all of us to sit here and experience a 5th straight loss again. And the Jays are set up better for the next bunch of years than the Yankees are. It's another fact that's unfortunate, though. The Yankees are going to need to diversify quite a bit. They really are. And, Lorenzo, yes, they have to make serious change, significant ones too this offseason. There's no doubt about it, man. There is no doubt about it. I don't know what else to say, they're out of the wild card lead now, so they're going to have to claw themselves back into it. But these, it doesn't look like Toronto's slowing down now, and you have Seattle kind of waking up, and Boston, with a win, they might turn it around too. So we're going to have to see what happens here. But this is not a good look. Not a good look for the Yanks. But again, Gardner was the only offense, and he's putting. If this is his last season, he's putting together a hell of an effort. So, and she's leaving it all out there with it, even if his stats don't necessarily represent that. It is, yeah, it's pretty tiring watching him lose and not only lose but stink up the place so many times, and it's just like, what are you guys doing, man? What are you guys doing? It's just, it's a bummer. It really is a bummer, because they are better than this. They should be playing better than this. But like a guy getting hurt here, guy getting hurt there, it's just way too much. Just disappointing stuff. altogether. It's just it's terrible. It's ugh. I don't know what to say. Like, but now again, you got to give these other guys a chance. Allen, let him play. Florio, give him a chance. Oswald, Peraza, give him a chance. See what's going on. Like, Gio's not doing anything. Glaber's not doing anything. So let the young kids see what they can do at the major league level. Why not? The starters aren't performing, so why not give the younger kids a chance? That's just the way I look at it. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. So yeah, I mean, Miguel, I'm with you. Kind of want to fast forward to the offseason too. Like, it's just really disappointing watching them just slowly kind of fade away from the postseason. They had a firm grip a week ago or a week and a half ago. Now it's just like 2-9 in their last 11 games after a 13-game winning streak. Absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. But again, there's still 20-plus games left, so they're only half a game out of the wild card, so they're not out yet. They're in the second spot in the wild card, so they're still actually in it. But they're gonna have to, hold on as best they can. I mean, they have no choice. So, and they're just gonna have to play the wild card game and go from there. The division, I would say that that's not a chance to win the division right now. But, crazier things have happened, but again, I can't mathematically rule them out yet, but I just don't have a good feeling about the division. I'm hopeful that they can at least squeak in with the wild card, but they have to turn it around right now. And there's no excuses. And they have to do it, Seattle and Boston won. So the guys that are like I'm breathing down the necks of the Yankees. It's fortunately for the Yankees, the Oakland A's have been reeling lately, so they're kind of out of it, like a little bit more out of it. But it's such a tight batch of teams all within range of each other for those two wild card spots. There's no like dominant team there, and they're all right there. So, and the A's are winning today, so unfortunately. So, and Gallo needs to go on the COVID IL, even if he doesn't have COVID. Wow. He did get a base hit today, so I honestly think he's going to have a better 2022 with a full season here, 81 games at Yankee Stadium, and just surrounded by a hopefully more diverse and just fundamentally sound lineup around him. That do I see Judge and Stanton here? Yes, I do. Some other guys I don't know. But then there's. Like I said, I keep saying they're gonna, I think, make some moves of some kind. I don't know what kind, at first base and shortstop. So I'm really curious to see what they do. Really, really curious here. And I agree, Miguel. Like Glaber and Gio aren't doing anything. Sit them and play other people. Velasquez can't do it all, but he's still out there hustling and doing the stuff. And he got overpowered by Manoah today, but so did a bunch of other Yankees. So it's not only him. It's like they couldn't really do anything on Manoah. The only one who did something was Brett Gardner, and that was it. The offense otherwise did nothing. They've been doing a lot of that against a lot of pitchers lately, and just a lot of average pitchers that are just Yankees make them look like Cy Young Award winners and Hall of Famers, and they do it way too often. So, Gallo's over 30 home runs now. But if 30 home runs is a bad year, I just wish there were other stats that kind of made it a little bit more of a complete season, a little bit, over the Mendoza line, obviously. And, he draws a lot of walks, so his on-base percentage is always going to be high, but he strikes out way too much. So I wish he would just get some hits too, singles, doubles, move guys over and stuff like that. He does need to do a little bit more of that. And so do a lot of the other Yankees. So it's not only him. It really is not over him. And Judge and Gallo, Judge has a higher batting average than Gallo, but their stats are relatively similar. They all both strike out a ton. So, and Judge is overall having a better year, yes, than Gallo, but they have to be. There's still He's ice cold right now, and so is Stanton, and so are a bunch of other guys. And it's not only Gallo. It's not only Gallo. And no, I mean, yeah, the Jays aren't the Big Red Machine won back-to-back World Series. That's why they were called the Big Red Machine. So, and this is, they have to win something. So I agree. I think Chop. I mean, I agree. Curry is just. I think he's talking out of his butt there. Like, it's just. They have to earn that title or some kind of title like that. They got to win a title. So they're a good team, yes. Young, dynamic team, yes. So were the Padres. They haven't won anything either. So I wouldn't give them a nickname until they win a World Series, And yeah, I mean, yes, I think Gardy's time is probably coming to an end, and I think he's earned himself definitely Brett Gardner Day and so on. It's just, but he's been, since the All-Star break especially. Him and Tyler Wade have been some of the best hitters since the All-Star break and kind of kept the team afloat. And he still goes out there and hustles every day. He's a hard-nosed player. And I've also shared the opinion that I think he needs to go at the end of the season for some fresh new blood to come in. But got to give him credit where it's due. He's still out there playing and producing. And, without him, it would have been a shutout today. So kudos to Gardner. So really, really kudos to Gardner. And Daly, I'm not giving up yet. I'm not so much buying into the percentage of making the postseason. Yeah, I think they'll get one of the wild card spots. It gives me an uneasy feeling now based on how they're playing and based on how other teams are kind of turning things around. So it's going to be, it's typical Yankees. You stress until the very end anyway. So, and that's exactly what I'll do. So that's what I always do. And, but yeah, Chop, they're good, but they're young. They are young, but they're playing a lot of them are playing like veterans. So, and they have a good combination of guys there. So I'm not, sold that the Blue Jays aren't a playoff team. So, yeah, and Boone, Miguel, if Boone's not, entirely responsible for all this stuff. These guys aren't hitting. Like, the lineup is just, and that falls on Thames too. So, and he's probably gonna be the one to go this offseason if anybody goes. I still don't know who they're gonna replace Boone with if they move him on from him. So that's my problem. Lorenzo, who we got here? 2022 roster. How about Buster Posey at catcher? So you're gonna have to trade Sanchez because he's got another year. Rizzo at first base, DJ at second, Seager at short, Gio at third, Allen in left, Judge in center, Stanton right. Voigt DH, rotation, Cole, Tyon, Montgomery, Hill, whoever else is elite for the rotation. So I don't see Gallo there. What are you doing with Gallo? Personally, I would move Allen to center, Judge to a corner, infield spot. Less pressure on Judge's body. That's just me. I could see something like this. I think they have to bring in a top-line starting pitcher, maybe two of them this offseason. So I'm of the opinion, and I've made some videos recently talking about that. But yeah, and this is the thing too, Miguel, like waiting for the bats to come alive. And this is the thing, like the bats are ice cold, and all of a sudden they get red hot, and they go on a tear. So, and I know a lot of us are waiting for that to happen too. And the only problem is that this is the thing. That's the type of stuff that'll keep them out of a deep postseason run, getting cold at the wrong time. And so I'm hoping that at some point they just have a little bit more of a better consistency, a better balance in that offense to, prevent us from having, strokes every day watching this team. So, because it is a roller coaster. Yeah, Daly, it's an emotional roller coaster, 100%, man. And it's, Chop, that stadium, I got to tell you something. The old stadium was much louder and more cavernous than the new stadium. I like the new stadium, but the old stadium was insane. It was so loud. And so people would just rip the seats out of the ground. Like, there was something about that old stadium it's just the noise. It's deafening. And it's louder than the new one, but the old one is absolutely deafening. So I actually preferred the old stadium. If Boone, Cashman has some work to do, man. Allen, he does have some work to do. And Boone as well. Boone's got some areas of improvement. So does, the player personnel. They just they have to get better. And unfortunately, we can't blame it all on Boone. So, just can't. So, there's only so much he can do. Guys get hurt. Guys don't perform. That's why you have a farm, so you can send down guys and call up guys. And he's not the one that does those things. So, he does what's handed to him, and he has to manage with the people that he's given. So, that's all he can do. Signed Syndergaard in the offseason. Have King and Cortes piggyback off his. And Sevy starts. Herman will be the sixth man. Yeah. I'm wary about Syndergaard only because that would give us 4 Tommy John pitchers in the rotation. Syndergaard, Severino, Montgomery, and Taillon. 4 Tommy John guys in the rotation. That frightens me. But he's a power arm. He's got a big arm. Personally, I don't put Severino back in the rotation at all. That's just me personally, though. I don't have a good feeling about putting him back in rotation. But yeah, yeah. I do think, Miguel, we have a chance at Rodon. Seager, they have a chance at. Verlander, I wouldn't be surprised if Verlander goes back to Houston or even Detroit or, Washington or the Dodgers. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to one of those teams. Seager, if they're going to bring in a big free agent shortstop, that tells me that they're giving up on Volpe and Peraza as the shortstop option. Seager's personally the only guy I would go after, but he's probably going to require a 10-year deal. Rodon, I think they have a shot at as well. So, look, keep an eye out for Robbie Ray too. He's been up and down, but him and Rodon are both kind of getting their command and control much better than they had over the years. So, closer, yeah, Jordan, I'd bring in 2 more relievers, at least 2 more relievers. And again, I would move Severino to that bullpen. So kind of the John Smoltz program. He was a starter for a bunch of years, and he started having some problems. Then he moved him to the closer, and he was a dominant closer at the tail end of his career, and still went to the Hall of Fame. So Scherzer, I would love. Yeah, I don't know. I do think he said that he would waive his no trade clause for an extension. So I can see the Dodgers giving him an extension, but they also have to re-up on Kershaw. They have to figure out what to do with Bauer, and he's represented by Scott Boras. So I think Scott Boras is going to bring him out to the free agent market to see if he can create a bidding war. So, and if that's the case, he's going to get a 3-year deal from somebody, and he's still that good. So, and again, he doesn't have a long injury history. He's still a beast. So, and he's showing it every day, every time he pitches in Los Angeles. So, Schwarber, wickets, 50 count. It doesn't make the lineup any more athletic. It doesn't make the lineup any more versatile. It's just another power hitting lefty. So, but the Yankees have always been enamored with him. And Sevy Taillon didn't only throw 4 innings for his first month. That would be the only way daily that I would. If we were to transition Sevy back to the rotation, that would be the way. That's the way I would do it. No more than 4, then eventually no more than 5, then so on. Have him build slowly, but I worry about him. 2 years of setbacks now. It's just, yeah. It's really, too many Tommy John guys in the rotation, man. We need some just durable dudes. Honestly, we need some dudes who can just go out there and throw 6 innings, 7 innings on the regular, and just put them in a position where not sexy names, not power guys, just guys who go out there and do it regularly. And that's why I think they're going to probably consider Marcus Stroman too, because he's not a big guy, but he goes out there and he's durable. He throws innings. So, I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised at all. Yeah, Chapman, dude. Chapman's making $18 million. So is Britton, $13 million. It's just $31 million between the two. And Britton's out for the season. I don't know what he's going to get from next year. Him and the team have already signed or agreed to the they had a mutual option that they both exercised already. So he's going to be here next year. But can they move Chapman? Yeah, he just has to. He's got to pitch well towards the end of this season here, so he can give himself some trade value. But I can see teams going after him, especially he has one more year left on his contract, and he still throws 100 plus. I could see a team going after him. Only problem is he's not going to get a haul back, but it is what it is at this point. As long as the Yankees if they can offload that salary, then they do it. You might have to attach a prospect, but they do it. The Brewers pitchers would be nice with Corbin or Woodruff, but it's going to cost their boatload. And I don't know if the Brewers are in contention now. They're playing really well. I don't know if they would want to give up any of these guys that they're building blocks. They really are. Just like I don't know the Pirates are going to want to give up Brian Reynolds, but the Yankees should go after him anyway. Even Ketel Marte, they should go after him anyway. I don't know if Arizona is going to give him up either. I don't see Pittsburgh or Arizona competing anytime soon. But those are the types of building blocks that you keep there to build around. And so I wouldn't be surprised. And I wouldn't blame them for not trading them because those guys are superstars. Michael, keeping Judge and Cole, would I be upset if the Yankees kept Judge? No. But I think they should entertain offers for him to see what if somebody overpays, then you might have to take something. He's only got 1 year left. So before he becomes really expensive. And I know he's a moneymaker for this franchise, but so is winning championships. So, and they could move him and still get better. And, I think Thames is probably out at the end of the year. I really do. I would agree with you, Daly. And Cashman and Boone, I don't know. I just don't know who they would replace them with I don't see any obvious candidates. So I like Clay Holmes too. He's had a rough, he's hit around a little bit recently, but he seems like a keeper for the Yankees. He really does. Jordan Taylor. Oh, yeah. We do have Johnny Lozano. We have Chad Green. We have a lot of guys. Joely looked good tonight, and there's some other guys too, like trade Chapman for Edwin Diaz. Ooh, New York. You know what? Interesting, Nelson. Really interesting. Chapman for prospects is more likely, but you never know with the Mets. Mets are reeling too. They were to me, they were a surefly, shoe-in for a playoff contender this year, but I don't know now. I really don't. Sevy pitches. Yeah. His next 2022, Allen is his last year as a free agent. Sevy, and then he has that buyout for 2023. And that's why I would put him in the bullpen and let him build up some trade value, because then that can be used as a trading chip, because he essentially would have a year and a half or almost 2 years of control for an acquiring team, making him a much more appealing piece, an acquiring team. That's what I would do. Just move on from some of these injury risks. It's just too many of them, way too many of them. Mets are done, man. And DeGrom, with DeGrom going down, it's just he has an opt-out to DeGrom, so just keep an eye on it. If he exercises and he becomes a free agent, that changes everything. So, but again, this injury, he could be, an injury risk for a lot of teams now too. So, and Junior, they're just they hit. They got cold at the worst time ever, man. They stopped hitting at the worst time ever. They really have, and it's Miguel. I would listen for offers for Sanchez. Yes, I would. They have catching depth coming up, catching prospects coming up. Even Donnie Sands is a legitimate option in AAA. He's a better defensive catcher. And Sanchez has improved. He's one of the actually more robust offensive performing catchers in major leagues, but you wouldn't be able to tell that he has 18, 19, 20 plus home runs every year because he's so inconsistent. He hit like 6 in a row in like a span of 10 days, and then he'll go a stretch where he can't even hit Little League pitching. So it's so inconsistent with Sanchez. So, but way too many pass balls. His defense has gotten better, but it's still not great. So I would entertain offers for him. I would entertain offers for Judge. I really would. Now's the time to do it. So, And yeah, Edwin Diaz isn't great, but you never know. A change of scenery might help these guys. I don't know. But, going from New York to New York isn't going to relieve the pressure for either one of them. But, Trey Sweeney. Yeah, guys like Sweeney, guys like these other guys. These are the guys that the Yankees should be keeping eyes on and giving them opportunities if they present themselves. If you have starters not doing anything, you call up one of these guys, man. Let them put a fire on the butts of the starters. Why not? Why not? We're holding on for dear life with these guys just to get that one wild card spot in hopes that they're going to become world beaters all of a sudden. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't see it. I really don't. Younger Yachty, Brett. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, we do need a defense first gamer behind. 100%, Brett. 100%, dude. 100%. We have some prospects, good looking prospects, but they're not. They're still in the lower levels. So, I'm hoping that the Yankees. I would love for them to get like a Yachty type. That would be phenomenal. It really would. Yachty's a beast, man. Surefire Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. Judge is the only guy that on this team with real trade value, only offensive player. Yeah, he's got a lot of trade value, which is why. You have two options. You keep him here, and then you let him walk and get nothing but one prospect, a draft pick, or you trade him for a boatload, or you give him $200 million at the age of 32. Those are the three options. I'm not a fan of the last one. I'm not. So I like him, but I would have given him $200 million at 28, not 32. Not 32. I'm sorry, that's just me, but 100%, Brett. If you had a Yachty type defender who can hit 240, I would take that. Salvador Perez from the Royals would have been perfect here, man. Perfect, but he's great over there in the Royals now. He's playing really great. Really. I think he just broke the Royals franchise home run record too. So he's having a hell of a year, and he's having a hell of, he's late in his career too. He's having a hell of a run. So good for him. I do think, Marcel, you bring up a good point. I do think DJ is getting a little bit of a free pass because of his two really ridiculous years that he had here with the Yankees. They're getting on other guys a lot more than they're getting on DJ, and he, even though he's not playing awful like some of these other ones, he's not playing that great either. So his, he batting 260, he batted 360 last year, batted 330 the year before. So he is down. And Ozunina would be an interesting option, Brett. I like that one. Yeah, I don't know, Nelson. Trade Torres and get Correa. Correa's going to cost $200 million also. And if they're going to invest in anything, I would be investing in pitching. And Correa is just another righty. He's better than Torres, no doubt about it. He's a superstar, and he's young. But there's so many other holes that the Yankees need to address first. And if you trade Torres, it's got to be for pitching, man. It's got to be for pitching. But, Correa, he's a superstar. I'll give him that. But, yeah, I don't think the Rays are going to trade Zunino either, Daly. But he would be nice. That would be nice. And they're not going to trade him to the Yankees. Hell no. So, Correa, he's just tied to that Astros cheating stench. So I don't know how much of an appeal he has over here in the Bronx, but I just don't know. I don't know. He wasn't he didn't behave like Altuve and Bregman did, and those guys were just complete a-holes. But he's still tied to it. So is Beltran, unfortunately. It's just, yeah. But again, they could, but they have to decide to move Torres. So that's the thing. And it also means that no more Volpe and no more Peraza unless they move Volpe to second and then make a complete roster, kind of roster overhaul. A bona fide leadoff hitter, not over 30. Yeah. That's why I like Brian Reynolds, man. He's 26 and he's really good. But, Brian Reynolds is my number one offensive target this offseason, but I don't know it's going to cost a boatload. And Volpe is, the way he's hitting right now, the way he's playing, man, it might not need a Correa. And that's why like a stopgap shortstop might be a good idea for a year until Volpe's major league ready. So but that's a risk too, because provided he keeps progressing, and I think he'll start the season next year in Double-A, and then he could progress and be ready in 2023 or even later next year. Zuniga's got a club option in 2022, which I'd be surprised if they didn't exercise it. If they let him walk, then the Yankees should jump on him. And again, then you would move Sanchez. So. And it's not a big option, and that's making it more likely that Tampa Bay would exercise it. And it's just in my opinion, but yeah. Yeah, Joe. No, I get it, man. Yeah, they're not doing the little dirty things, the little tricky things that the other teams are doing. So, and they do give the other teams an edge. And Simeon's a great option too, but I don't see him the way he's hitting this year. I don't see him being a stopgap, getting a 1 or 2 year deal. I just don't. He's going to get a big contract, I think, the way he's playing. So, and rightfully so, he deserves it. Look at the year he's having. And that's the thing. If the Rays are going to extend anybody, it'd probably be Zunino, somebody like that. And Torres and Robert Torres, the only person I would move Torres for is pitching, or the only position, I should say. It's just, Judges now was 0 for 24. It's just the overall team, man. The overall team, Jock. It's just like they forgot to hit. And it's a whole but again, this is typical Yankees 2021. Bunch of them get cold at the same time, and then a bunch of them get hot at the same time. It's just such a streaky nature about this team with the offense, not necessarily the bullpen or the rotation as much. It mainly resides in the offense. And that's something that they need to fix. And they need to fix it this offseason, 100%. And that's one of the most frustrating things, because they can't beat a lot of these teams, but they're not doing it. Their offense just keeps letting them down. And again, it puts more pressure on the pitching. It really does. Yeah. No, I get it, Daly. Yeah, they can't. If you're talking about Judge, they can't let Judge walk. They'd be stupid. You trade him for a boatload of prospects. So, Florial, Allen, and Andujar. Well, I think Andujar and Frazier, in my opinion, are goners. Unfortunately, it's just at this point, it just makes sense to give him a change of scenery, trade him somewhere, and let him play and let him succeed elsewhere. They're going to be blocked again here. And it's too much. I feel bad for Frazier and Andujar. It just hasn't worked out here. They had a lot of promise, but Florial, he's still an up-and-comer. He's a young kid. Allen, I think Allen and Florial should be getting opportunities right now. So to see what they have. And Allen's already shown he can perform here. So that's what I would be doing right now. And it's just, I don't like a lot of these corresponding moves the Yankees make with Chris. A lot of them don't make sense. They just don't. So, and again, I'm hoping this is Hill's one bad outing. I want to see how he responds after this adversity. I really do. That's going to tell me a lot about him. But I wouldn't necessarily rely on him yet to lock up a starter spot for next year. I would still be going after starting pitching in free agency. Let him develop. He's only like 20 or 21. Got to give him time to develop. Just like the Martian, just like Volpe. You don't want to rush these guys. So, that's what they're likely going to do, Miguel. Trade Chapman, Frazier, and Andujar. Frazier and Andujar are both under team control till 2025, so they do have value. Chapman, again, I can see them going somewhere. The Yankees will probably have to eat some of the contract, but he's more likely to be moved, I think. And I think they love Krisky because he was versatile, but he's just not pitching well at all. He just isn't. And, Chop, I do think this would be the offseason to move Gleyber Torres if they move him, not wait anymore. I like him. He's got a lot of potential, but too inconsistent. And the Yankees just need more consistency from way too many positions. It's just they're way too much. And then you have Aaron Hicks too. Like, and, oh, look at that. Miguel just brought up too. Like, he's coming back next year too. You know, he's got value as well. And he's coming back. He has to prove he's healthy. But like, $10 million a year for his position with his production, that's a good deal for a center fielder. And he's got like 4 or 5 years of control left. So he could be an appealing option for another team as well. But again, he's got to show he's healthy. Yeah, I mean, Krisky was great in the minors, and he had shellacked when he came up here. Shellacked recently, unfortunately. And again, Clint Frazier is the same thing. Got kind of caught up in like the Jobber Chamberlain thing, just destroyed by injuries in the Yankees. So like, unfortunately, I felt really bad. He's got an elite bat, and you know, I really like watching him and Andujar, but I think their time here is up, unfortunately. I hate saying it, but I think it's true. And those other guys, I mean, Krisky, I mean, they can use some refining with their work, the mechanics and stuff like that. They do have good arms, but they got to work that stuff out in the minors, not up here. They got to do that stuff before they come up here. So, yeah. Well, that's Brett. Yeah, MLB hitters can just feast on 95 mile an hour all day without any movement. Forget about it. Forget about it. So, I mean, if he's here, Philly, I would hope he becomes a Chad Green type Krisky. That would be really, really nice. That would just add another Chad Green here. So that would be nice. I mean, the Yankees do have a promising future. It's just it's a lot of it resides in the minors right now, and they're not here yet. So whereas teams like Toronto, they got a bunch of young superstars in the majors right now. So the Yankees have some work to do. Yankees do have some work to do. So, and Lasagna will be back. I like him as well. But yeah, I mean, I could see Hal absorbing some of Chapman's contract to move on from him. I could. Getting something in return. Just take the hit and move on, man. And don't, hope that he becomes dominant for a portion of next year and then just, craps the bed again. Just need more than that. Let a young kid develop and let a young kid have the chance to do it. But, it is what it is. Bridings, I hope he comes back healthy as well. He's got some promise too. Yeah. Windsor, I agree, man. I agree. Hell, I hope so. Medina, I hope so too, Miguel. I really do. They have some arms. I just need to develop them, man. They just need to develop them. So, but let me let you guys go. It's getting late. I appreciate you all coming on as always. And thank you. Enjoy the night. And hopefully tomorrow we'll have a better conversation. Look forward to talking to you like always. And Writings does have triple-digit arms. So, but you guys are the best. Enjoy your night. I'll talk to you tomorrow.